Hello, my baby gorillas, and slandered in the paper again. I thought this might be quite an interesting story today, and I think I'm going to cover something that involves sort of my background. So a lot of you maybe not know that I have a degree in financial services. I was a qualified stockbroker, financial advisor until the Tories in 2011 came in with new regulation and said I was no longer authorised. I had to redo qualifications to actually reauthorise you to do the same job that you were authorised to do before. And I've been the head of 2 Forex companies. So I'm actually going to do a new YouTube channel starting on Sunday night, Monday morning UK time, Greenwich Mean Time, on Forex trading. Now, this is not going to be something that you should copy or do anything like that. It's just to show you me trading, and I'm going to trade this for a month just to show you how I actually trade online. It's going to be the live prices from the markets, and we'll see how it goes over the next month. I'm quite excited to do this. I haven't done it. A lot of there's a lot of things like eToro and things you can actually do and copy a trader's positions. I don't want anyone to do that. It's just me showing you how I'm trading. So as I said, I am basically an expert in finance. I don't just cover one aspect. I've covered several aspects in high finance as well, from basically personal organisation of your finances to trading on the international derivatives, forex and commodities markets, including stockbroking, etc, etc. So I'm a bit of an expert in finance. So I would just like to talk to you today about Reach PLC and also their subsidiary companies in the Daily Record and the Sunday Mail. So I found this absolutely fascinating as well. In 2005, the average circulation per issue of the Daily Record was 454,000. Now, to tie this back into politics as well, the Daily Record was a big supporter of the Scottish Labour Party. As the Scottish Labour Party has declined the circulation of the Daily Record and the Sunday Mail, which is a sister paper of the Daily Record, was getting 1 million views or 1 million purchases every Sunday, so 30 years ago, so they could guarantee that they were getting nearly a million people who were buying the paper. Unfortunately now, the circulation has declined in both papers. So this is the Daily Record. So 2005, October, 454,427. In 2010, it was only 323,831. On May 2012, we're now seeing it at 281,465. This is all on Wikipedia, so you can check it yourselves. On May 15th, we have now got 193,907. So you can see this sort of massive decline. In December 2016, that was 160,557. So January 2017, 155,722. In June 2019, 111,524. And now we are down to, in the Daily Record in December 2019, only 104,906. So you can see this massive decline in the circulation of the Daily Record. And we've seen it amongst other print publications as well. This is a declining market. Obviously, the Daily Record is also online now, but you have to understand that there's costs involved, there's rent, rates, people, the printing materials, people's salaries in the organisation. There is a break-even point where the Daily Record and the Daily Mail will not, Daily Record and the Sunday Mail will actually then cease to be profitable. If you've got like 104,000 circulation, let's just say 100,000, and you're selling the paper at 50 pence per paper, that's only £50,000 that you're bringing in per day. And so that's not really that much money to actually start to get a break-even point. Obviously, there's online, they've got an online presence as well, they've got a website, and they've also got advertising. But if your circulation is massively decreasing, advertisers are not going to want to, there's other more effective ways for companies to advertise their wares than actually in a decreasing publication like the Daily Record and the Daily Mail. So we're actually now seeing getting to the sort of break-even point of where the Daily Record and the Sunday Mail may well go out of business. Oh, which is absolutely incredible. It's just absolutely unbelievable, because these were huge institutions, a bit like the Labour Party that's now pretty much a dead duck in Scotland as well. And these are all these parties, all these papers were huge institutions in Scotland. And there's obviously, as David Dick, who is the chairman, certainly the chief editor in the Daily Record, I think he's just actually managing the decline of the actual paper. It doesn't look like it's going up at all, the circulation. So he's just managing the slow and steady decline until Reach PLC, which is the parent company that Jim Mullen, another Scotsman, is in charge of. So at some point they may just say, well, this is unprofitable, and they have to then let it go, or it might just go into liquidation, which is a shame for the people who work there, who have done a great job over the years, that this actual institution is just in managed decline. And the less circulation it gets, the greater the deterioration in the actual ability to work this actual company is going to be. So it's very, very worrying. It's very worrying for these people. I mean, I can imagine why they wouldn't be able to sleep at night, seeing this decline in the Sunday Mail and the Daily Record. People are just not buying it. And they would either have to put the prices up, which would, for each of the actual papers, which will make it even less attractive, probably reduce circulation, and then reduce the advertising. So, I mean, I don't know what they're going to do. It's a very, very worrying time for David Dick, who, as I said, is the editor. And how long Reach PLC, because Reach PLC is probably going to see declining sales in all of their newspapers now, that obviously with the phone and with smartphones and things, you can get all the information online these days. So it looks like Reach PLC will have to change its business model, but also Reach PLC look like they could be starting to breach the Competition Commission's rules, and the fact that it's got such a large number of publications underneath it. It looks like it's almost like an oligopoly, which would maybe require to be looked at by the Competitions Commission, where they might have to break up Reach PLC because of the amount of titles in their stable, because they seem to have almost near getting close. There's other companies, but almost like a monopolistic situation, especially with the printed media. So these are sort of situations that might actually arise over the next period of time. And it's not very healthy for discourse with these people just controlling the narrative. And there's not a choice in the actual underlying narrative. It's because of the control by Mr. Mullen, who is the CEO of Reach PLC. So, and also they're making up a lot of stories and misinformation, which is also not good. It makes you lack trust in the actual media. If you've got somebody, I mean, you always get the truth here, but you lack credibility and the truth. And once the people who are actually tuning in see that they are not telling the truth, then that also declines the actual publication. So, I mean, very worrying times for I don't know what the break-even point is. We'll try and find out. We'll speak to Reach PLC, see if we can find out what the break-even point is for advertising and other sales, and obviously the money that's brought in through circulation. But as I said, the lower the average circulation per issue goes, the greater the chance of the whole thing going bankrupt, unless it moves to the online presence and the online presence is sustainable. I don't know if that's a workable model, but only Reach PLC will actually be able to see that. But I don't know how many more. If it halves again, is that going to be sustainable? I mean, they're literally 100,000 issues per day. Then that's only £50,000 from the actual cost of the paper. And is that even covering the materials? If it is covering the materials, is it covering the materials and staff and rent and rates and all other things? So very disturbing time for the staff there at the Daily Record and the Sunday Mail. Looks like we're going to see it continue to decline. And at what point is Jim Mullen going to actually try and sell it or get rid of it, or I don't know, management buyout? There would have to be changes unless Reach PLC are going to continue this as a lost loser and keep it in the stable, because obviously it's a publication, it's a printed publication, even though nobody's actually buying it anymore. You've got to remember as well, I mean, 1 million people used to buy, 30 years ago, 1 million people used to buy the Sunday Mail, and you're lucky if you get 100,000 people buying it now. I think we're seeing the decline in print media generally. It's probably not something that, as a stockbroker, that I would be wanting to invest in. I think there's other things that are going to get you a bigger return than the printed media just now, which seems to be on a managed decline. And people are just taking in their news in different manners. Like the Guerilla TV channel, guys. You know, you're all watching it. The only difference between us and the Daily Record is we're going up and they're going down. Love you guys.